Adiyam. Happy Friday to everyone, or Saturday if you're in Singapore or Australia or Hong Kong. We get an opportunity to put our physical body into stillness, put the mind into stillness. And when the body and mind get still, we can then become introspective. We've been studying through the Yoga Sutra, the word Viveka, or the spiritual discernment, how to see things in the real light. We normally see through these senses, hear through these senses, smell, but the true spiritual being, Patanjali explains, has spiritual senses. So we want to awaken the spiritual senses from within. And when we start to sit still, the brainwave will naturally drop. If at any time your brainwave goes into delta, this might happen. If that happens, it brings you back into the theta state. So this is a good sign. It's not like yoga nidra. If you're meditating in yoga nidra and delta comes, there's no jerk. But here, it sometimes happens where this might happen. It brings you back into the awareness state. And again, if leg fall asleep, feel free to stretch the leg out, shake it out, let the prana flow through it, cross it back, and then keep going. So let's, actually before we start, let's stretch the legs out, everyone. Wiggle the ankles, the knees. And when you cross the legs, cross them to your comfortable seated posture. We're giving ourselves this opportunity to sit still, only for 45 minutes. 45 minutes goes like that compared to 24 hours, right? Only 45 minutes. Bring the palms on the knees, touch the tip of the thumbs, tip of the index fingers. Close the eyes softly. We'll start off our journey today with bandhas. Bandhas means lock, external lock, as we unlock the astral body, quieten the mind. Start off with a rung of Jalandhar Bandh, throat lock, with a Prakash Mudra. Inhale half lung of air. Swallow the air as if you're swallowing water. Hold the breath in. Retain the breath in. Move the chin to the chest, shoulders up towards the ears. Throat lock, Jalandhar Bandh. Whenever you need the breath, lift the chin, sniff in a bit more air, and exhale, control. Bring the breath back to normal breathing. And with the eyelids softly closed, just witness your mind space. As we hold the breath, less and less thoughts enter the mind. The next round, we're going to combine Jalandhar Bandh, throat lock, with Mula Bandh, perineum lock. Move with me. Inhale half lung of air. Swallow the air as if you're swallowing water. Hold the breath in. Move the chin into the chest, shoulders up towards the ears, throat lock. Squeeze the perineum muscles as if you're preventing yourself from going to the loo. Mula Bandh, perineum lock. Whenever you need the breath, release the perineum lock first, then lift the chin second, sniff in a bit more air, and exhale, control. Bring the breath back to normal. And just gaze into the center of the eyebrows as the mind gets quieter and quieter. moving the physical body into stillness. Before we can quiet the mind fully, we must first bring the physical body into stillness, Kaya Styram. Take your awareness to the right foot, toes to the heel. The right foot is still. To the left foot is steady. To the entire right leg, from the toes, passing the calf, the knee, the thigh, to the right hip girdle. The entire right leg is immovable. To the entire left leg, toes all the way up to the left hip. The entire left leg is stable. Bring the awareness to the pelvic floor, the glutes, the lower back, the front of the pelvis. The entire pelvic floor is grounded. To the entire back, from the glutes all the way up to your shoulders. The entire back is still. Take your awareness to the right hand, fingertips to the wrist. Right hand is rigid. To the left hand is steady. To the entire right arm, from the fingertips passing the wrist, the forearm, the elbow, the upper arm to the right shoulder blade. The entire right arm is immovable. To the entire left arm, fingertips all the way up to the left shoulder. The entire left arm is stable. Bring the awareness to the neck. The neck is motionless. To the head is completely still. Take your awareness to the whole body and imagine the whole body is like a statue, immovable, stable. And as the physical body starts to move into stillness more and more, let's work on stilling the mind. Initially, the yoga is quiet the mind, liberate the mind into the present moment by attaching the mind to our amazing breath. This breath allows us to perform the Bahir Anga Yoga, outer yoga. The same breath allows us to move into the Antaranga Yoga, the inner yoga. Just be aware of the breath at the entrance of the nostrils. Try not to control it, just witness it moving in and out. See if you can sensitize the mind a little bit more and identify this temperature change of the breath. The incoming breath is slightly cooler. The outgoing breath with your body's heat is slightly warmer. Move the focus of the mind this time to the breath in the rib cage. Try not to alter the movement of the rib cage, just witness it. As we inhale, the rib cage naturally makes a small movement up and out. As we exhale, the rib cage naturally makes a small movement in and down. Keep the mind in the present moment on the breath in the rib cage now. Now use the creative power of your mind and imagine your amazing muscle which separates your thoracic organs from your abdominal organs. We call it the diaphragm. Imagine you can see your diaphragm, and as you inhale, the diaphragm flattens out. And as you exhale, the diaphragm makes a small little dome shape upwards. Inhale, the diaphragm flattens. Exhale, the diaphragm dome shapes. Stay in the present with the breath and the movement of the diaphragm now. Now move your focus of your mind to the breath in the abdomen. Try not to control the movement of the abdomen, just witness it. As we inhale and exhale, the abdomen naturally makes a small movement out and in. Stay in the present, the breath in the abdomen now. Now bring the focus of your mind back to the breath at the entrance of the nostrils. And as you gaze there, I want you to identify the 4 parts of your breath. There's an inhalation, followed by a split-second retention inside, followed by an exhalation, followed by a split-second retention outside, followed by an inhalation again. Keep witnessing the 4 parts of the breath now. And now we're going to equalize the four parts of the breath. Move with me, my pace. Inhale slowly, one, two, three, four. Hold the breath in, one, two, three, four. Exhale slowly, one, two, three, four. Hold the breath out, one, two, three, four. Inhale slowly, one, two, three, four. Hold the breath in. Continue your pace for the next couple of minutes. If counts of four is too strenuous, decrease it to counts of three. Counts of four is too easy for your lungs, increase it to counts of five. No strain, but equalize the four parts of the breath now. After the next exhalation, bring the breath back to normal breathing. Yogis recognize we have a beautiful body, a temple, a micro universe that's in duality, the right side and left side. We're living within a universe of duality. The universe is in duality, sun and moon. Want you to imagine you're breathing through your left nostril, inhaling from the moon. Imagine rays coming from the moon in through your left nostril, touches the center of the eyebrows. As you exhale, cool silver light comes out, travel to the moon. Inhale through the left nostril, cool and light touching the eyebrow center. Exhale from the eyebrow center down through the nostril out to the moon planet. Keep this visualization for the next minute. Excellent. And now move your awareness to the right nostril. See the beautiful golden sun. Inhale from that amazing sun, millions of miles away into the right nostril. Touches the center of the eyebrows. As you exhale, like golden warm light leaves your nostrils to the sun. Inhale, the warm golden light enters from the sun to the eyebrow center. Exhale, the golden warm light leaves to the sun. Keep this visualization for the next minute. Excellent. Now imagine you're breathing through your left nostril from the moon, the cool rays entering, touching the eyebrow center. As you exhale, warm air comes down the right nostril out to the sun. Inhale the warm air from the sun into the right nostril, touches the eyebrow center. As you exhale, cool air comes out through the left nostril to the moon. Inhale cool air from the left nostril, eyebrow center. Exhale, warm air comes out all the way to the sun. Keep this visualization alternating the prana from the moon and the sun. Your pace, no rush. After your next exhalation through the left nostril, cool air going out. Bring your gaze into the center of your eyebrows. And as you gaze there, you can feel where the solar energy meets the lunar energy. A beautiful balance. Yogis call it the Sushumna pathway. When there's a balance with the right and left hemisphere, the inner vision develops. Yogis call it Divya Chakshu. The false ego falls away. Patanjali referred to it as the Viveka. The spiritual discernment kicks in. Divine vision kicks in. I want you to imagine you're seeing a beautiful bus, and the bus is moving, and you're connect to it, and you understand that bus is only moving because there's a spiritual being igniting the engine. You see someone riding a bicycle, you recognize that bicycle, the property is in inertia, it's only moving because there's a spiritual being moving and pedaling. You see a dog, you understand that dog is only animated because the spiritual being within it. Divine vision, you see a cat, spiritual being within it. Even someone who might be very controlled by the modes of tamas and rajas, passion and ignorance, and they could be so offensive, everything coming through their tongue. See the Atma, the spiritual being within it. Love them from a distance. Redirect your compassion to them still. And then move your consciousness from the eyebrows. Now take your awareness to your chest region. Try and find your amazing heartbeat. Just as we're breathing all day long, the heart is also beating all day long, being awe and reverence of that little thump. Dum, dum, dum. And as you find that amazing heartbeat, I want you to recognize, imagine a beautiful spiritual flame is there. The flame is animating the heart. And that flame is whom you really are, that spiritual being that's hearing my voice through the faculty of your outer ear, middle ear, inner ear, the auditory nerve to the brain, connecting to the Atma. And you recognize the only way this whole body is operating is because you are within it. And you look to your left and you see another flame, a bigger flame. That is the Paramatma. From whichever spiritual culture you are brought up, hold your deity in the heart space now. The Paramatma, the Lord in the heart. And as you recognize the Lord in the heart, you recognize you're not in this journey alone. When we are covered by tamas, when we're entering a depression state, each and every one of us lose the fact that we are not alone. As we tap into the higher self, recognize Paramatma is always with us. And hence the yogis recognize when we sit still, we can then start to listen to the inner voice. And as you recognize the inner voice, that inner being right next to us, recognize this inner being knows everything about us, our strengths, our weaknesses, our ups, our downs, even the things we forget in this life 10, 15 years ago. Paramatma knows it. And even when we make mistakes, Paramatma sends unconditional love to us through the breath, through food, through water. In the next couple of minutes, I want you to sit still and recognize you are always surrounded by an ocean of unconditional love. That unconditional love of God comes in many forms. The breath, the food, the water, the family, the friends, the sun, the moon. Sit still for the next couple of minutes and be aware of that unconditional love you're sitting in. more and more we realize we are surrounded by unconditional love. We can share that love through compassionate acts to other living entities. Each and every one of us has done many compassionate acts in our life. I want you to remember a time you did an act of compassion, an act of love to assist a fellow living entity, maybe a plant, an animal, or a fellow human being with no desire for anything in return. Selfless action now. Very good. This time, remember a time when you were the recipient of another living entity's compassion. Remember when another living entity acted out of pure love towards you. Excellent. And this time, I want you to imagine yourself doing an act of compassion in the near future. See yourself assisting a fellow living entity through a selfless act of love, maybe in the next few days or the next week. The yogis recognize act of compassion brings a smile on the heart space. Every one of us want to be happy. The yogis recognize we can become happy when we do selfless acts, thinking not just of me, myself, and I, but thinking of other living entities, us. We are evolving together. For the next couple of minutes, I want you to just bring your focus into the center of the eyebrows once again. Just be a detached witness. If random thoughts enter the mind, witness them detachedly. If no thoughts enter the mind, just appreciate the silence of your mind. Gaze in the center of the eyebrows now. Very good. Gazing into the center of the eyebrows. I want you to recognize at this moment you're moving through space on the Earth planet, circulating the sun, and the amazing moon planet is circulating the Earth. And in a couple days, they will be 180 degrees aligned with you on the Earth planet in the center. Hence, in a couple days, we will have a beautiful full moon. The moon is on 180 degrees on the opposite side of the sun. As every second of your life is precious, every moment we are discerning, questioning, evolving. These two powerful planets are there to give us wisdom as well, raise our vibration to our discernment. Grateful for the rays of the moon, grateful for the rays of the sun. They trigger us to help our spiritual discernment, to see a spiritual force. Even within the sun planet, there's a spiritual force. Even within the moon planet, there's a spiritual force. Yoga is called the spiritual force in the sun, the Surya, in the moon, Chandra. The sun wouldn't have that movement of force if the spiritual Atma wasn't there. The moon wouldn't have that force of waning and waxing if the spiritual Atma is not there. And then we get so many gifts from them as we circulate the sun and the moon circulates us on this amazing planet called the Earth. Both those planets and the Earth planet are gifts of God out of unconditional love. Always recognize that we're in an ocean of unconditional love. Let's externalize the consciousness, become aware of the room you're sitting in. Become aware of the breath moving in and out. Take a deep inhalation. Exhale slowly. Move the fingers slowly. Bring the palms to the heart. The right palm representing the sun. Left palm representing the moon. They touch. They help to connect to the spiritual force within us, that Atma. Inhale deeply once again. Exhale. Lower the head towards your higher self, the Atma, towards Paramatma, the Lord in the heart, as you animate this amazing micro-universe. Namaste. Lift the head, open the eyes. Hari Om Tat Sat. Thank you all so much for sharing your association. If possible, catch your dreams over the next few nights. The moon is getting bigger and bigger. Your dreams will be affected amazingly. And keep this realization. We are all living in an ocean of unconditional love. Sometimes when we're covered by ignorance, Thomas, we go into a depressed state. Every human enters depression from time to time. And we forget, wow, there's an ocean of love around us. So we need that association to remind us and manifest around. Have a beautiful, quiet evening, or a beautiful, quiet rest of the afternoon, or a beautiful rest of the day. Thank you so much, Bashak. Thank you, Jenny. Thank you, Helen and Celine. Thank you, Susan. Thank you, Tisha. Thank you, Subin. Thank you, Mahalo Mai. Thank you, Daniel. Thank you, Marianne. Hari Om Tat Sat.